Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, class. How are you today? I hope you are all fine. I am very fine today. I am going to be with you in about 35 minutes to go. And I'm going to go with the English subject today with the topic of giving suggestion and offers. Hopefully you are fine at home, and hopefully too you are with me today. And don't forget to ask your friend to join this Nelita online learning SMK Negeri 5 Kota Tangerang, joining us with the English class with Mr. Saiful. This is for the second grade, so please stay tuned on Nelita online learning and watch, listen, and try to understand what I'm trying to give you today. But don't forget, or don't be panicked, because this broadcasting is going to be recorded and will be rebroadcasted in Nelita online learning. Right, we have the topic today. It is about giving suggestion and offers. But in this section, we are going to talk about how we are going to give suggestion. Everybody has the problem, has situation, has ideas, and then based on those situations, we are going to try to give the response by giving suggestion. And that is what we'll have to do every day when we have the problem. We have communication with other people. And let's go specifically to discuss about this point. As I told you, we are going to discuss about suggestion, not offer, for today. I will invite you to take a look for the conversation one that is about a short dialogue between John and Jane. Is telling you about what I told you before, that is about giving suggestion and respond to the suggestion. First, I would like to read the dialogue, and then maybe you are going to listen and try to imitate how you say the same sentence in using the English way of speaking or pronunciation. Okay, just listen very carefully and then try to concentrate yourself. Listen up. Hi John. Hi Jane. What are you doing? Nothing much. Would you like to go to the movies? I would love to, but not right now. How about in the afternoon? Great. What movie do you want to watch? Let's watch Rain. I would rather not. I'm not much into horror movies. How about Peanuts? Okay, let's go there. When do you want to go? What about 4 o'clock show? It sounds good. Okay, see you then. Okay, see you. All right, I've just read about the conversation that is telling you, but now I would like you to take a look specifically on the bold type. Just take a look at the sentence. Would you like to go to the movies? And how about in the afternoon? And what about 4 o'clock show? The sentences are bold typed. In this case, as I said before, that we are going to talk about suggestion, and then those expressions are the example of how you will give your suggestion. Take a look for the conversation number 2. Still the same way, that is this is another example of the conversation about giving suggestion and respond to it. I'm not going to read that, but you will have to take a look for the bold type sentences. Would you like any help? is the way to offer suggestion, and then it is a kind of asking for suggestion, and then the way of answering is yes please, I would really appreciate, is the way of answering. Right, that is two examples of the conversation that is or that contains about the way of giving suggestion and how to respond it. From the conversation, I would now you take a look for the specific word that is going to be used when, or the expression to use when making suggestion. Starting point, starting sentence by saying let's start from let us, we could blah blah blah, I suggest that, you want to change blah blah blah, I think, I don't think, why don't we, what about, and how about is the starting sentence when you give the suggestion. And beside of those example, we can also use specifically by the explanation about how to use how about. How about is the starting sentence, and then the suggestion, we go to Padang restaurant, is the key, the suggestion itself. So when we are making the sentence in a complete way of suggesting, so the sentence is going to be how about we go to Padang restaurant. Or maybe if you are going to use how about by gerund, so the sentence is going to be changed a little bit by saying a verb words go and in. Then the sentence will be how about going to Padang restaurants. So that is the expression of how you will have to give the suggestion using how about. The other example you can use what about. The other expression you can use what about. Actually, it is the similar way of saying how about. So just take a look the sentence how about Padang restaurant. You can say, you change the word of how by saying what, and the sentence how about Padang restaurant will be what about Padang restaurant. It is also the same way of giving suggestion. Right? We can also use start or begin our suggestion by saying why don't. Yeah, the same way. We just change how about to be what about, and then now we change to be why don't, and then the same sentence will be why don't we go to Padang restaurant. Those three sentences, those previous three sentences, actually the same expression using different starting expression. Why not? We can use why not to. Why not treat yourself to Caribbean holiday? Why not go to Padang restaurant? So you can say it the same way using why not. Shall we go to Padang restaurant? Okay, or let's go to the Padang restaurant. It's the same expression but different beginnings. Okay, if the previous ones are the example of how you start to give suggestion, now I would like to invite you just take a look to the suggestion itself. Like the first sentence I saw you today, let's go to the library, changing to Padang restaurant by saying let's go to the library. Let's go to the movies, or maybe we can change the starting expression and then also the point of suggestion by saying we could eat at home today, or I suggest that we call it a day. I think you should go and meet her. Or the other one, I think we should do it in this way. Or maybe you can say you need to change your sleeping habits. Why don't you do your homework before going out? What about eating at the new place? How about going to Linda's house first? So those are the example of suggestion, different expression of starting sentence, and then different suggestion. So you can make so many suggestions depend on the situation that you are faced in your real situation in everyday life. So what I want you to do actually, maybe after listen or pay attention to this explanation, I hope you at the end understand to give suggestion in your own expression, to say, to give the suggestion based on the problem. Right? Next, what about the way of responding to the suggestion? Just take a look for those examples of the sentence or different way of responding to the suggestion. But the first one is, this is the way of accepting the suggestion if someone giving you the suggestion. So you can say okay, yes, sure, certainly, I will. That's good. That's a great idea. Or that sounds good. Or that sounds great. Perfect. Oh, thanks. I would love to. So those are the ways of how you will have to give the response when you are accepting the suggestion from your friend or from your partner of speaking. Next, what you will have to take a look is the way how to refuse or decline suggestion. You can say no, or maybe you can say I don't think so. Sorry, I can't. I really like it, but I'm sorry, I can't. You can say that. That's a good idea, but I cannot do that. I think it is not a good idea. I would rather not do it. I prefer not to do it. That's a good idea, but I would rather not to do it. By combining that, oh, I'm not sure. You can say that. In a complete way of responding to that, when you decline a suggestion, you may want to then politely suggest something else. For example, I'm not sure, but a restaurant is not my favorite one. How about Sundanese food? So those are the sentence of giving and responding. Okay, responding and also giving another suggestion. So the communication is running so natural. So if someone suggesting you and then you refuse and then giving another suggestion as the way of solving the problem, right? Now I give you the situation, but I don't need you to respond now. You can do that at home. I give you the situation. I always stuck in a bad traffic jam. I always stuck in a bad traffic jam, and then now I need your suggestion. What is your suggestion? I'll give you one example. If someone is saying I always stuck in a bad traffic jam, and then maybe you can give the suggestion, why don't you go earlier? Why don't you wake up and go earlier? So you will not stuck in the traffic. Okay, you can respond this situation by different responses, not based on my response, but you can create your own, based your own experience, based on your own experience, different situation. The second situation, we are afraid of coronavirus disease. Okay, why don't you stay at home? Why don't you just always wear your mask? You can give another suggestion. We have 5 steps of that government always remind us to do if we are afraid of coronavirus disease. So you can make your own answer or response based on this situation. Another situations, my salary is not enough for 1 week, even for 1 week. So this is a kind of a complaint, but I need your suggestion to this situation. You can also write another situation. Write so many suggestions based on the situation. Next, I want to get better English score this semester, so I need you to put your principal position about how you will have to get better English score in the future. So just make sentence. I'll give you the suggestion. Make suggestion to you yourself, or maybe to your friend, or maybe to someone that is saying those sentence. This sentence. My father got cough. He's a bad smoker. So please give him suggestion based on the situation. Yeah. Okay, let's go for next discussion. What I give you today is the example of making suggestion, accepting that, and then declining in one place. Let's say let's go to movies, or let's go if it is kind of the way of accepting suggestion. But if you are declining, you can say no, thank you. I don't feel like going out. All right. As I said before in the previous slide, this is the answer, but actually you can create your own response, not only one response that you can create. You can make your own, maybe one, maybe two, maybe more. So please try to do that. Use your English. Try to develop your English by thinking the way of responding the situation here, beside of the situation I show you today. Situation number three, sorry. Why don't you do your homework before going out? Okay, I will. But if you decline that, you can say, sorry, I think I'll go out first, and then do my homework. If it is a good answer, so you can say that. But maybe you have another way of sentence to respond this. So please do by yourself. Try to think and find out the way of responding. How about going to Lina's place or your friend's place first, and then go to the supermarket? This is a suggestion, and you can say, yes, let's go, it's a good idea. But if it is not, if you are declining it, so you can say, no, let's just go to the supermarket. So this is the way. Again, as I would like to remind you again, this situation is going to be responded in different ways, different sentences, so you can create by your own. You will have to think differently to find a different answer of this situation. Right? This is all the exercise for you. Try to do this at home in a piece of paper. Try to answer the way of responding the situation. You can both using two ways: accepting the suggestion or declining the suggestion. Based on this situation, let's go to the sushi restaurant for lunch. That is the first suggestion, and then you are going to try to answer that, and then please write your answer on a piece of paper, and maybe you can give me in 1 week. Next Saturday you would have to try to collect that at school. I try to get your answer and check it. Number two, why don't you go and get something to eat? That is another example of the question that you need to answer. Why don't you join us for lunch? How about meeting at the bookstore at 5 p.m.? I think we should go and pick your father up from the airport. You should finish your work today. Shall we go home now? So those are the way of suggesting, and then I need your response. Remember, in those two ways, in two ways, you are accepting the suggestion and declining the suggestion. Right? That is all for today. I think what you will have to do at home, try to do more for yourself. Watch this subject again and again by using your internet package in YouTube, in Nelita online learning from SMK Negeri 5 Kota Tangerang. Please try to understand repeatedly and find out the more understanding of this lesson with the topic of giving and responding to suggestion. I know that you can do this at home because you got not so many words at home beside of studying. Try to find out more references from other sources. Beside of watching YouTube, you can find the source from the internet that contain of how you are going to study about giving suggestion and responding to suggestions. Hopefully, you are studying something from this lesson today. I hope you are going to study again and again. Watch the YouTube from Nelita Online Learning. Watch YouTube from the other source of lesson, or maybe subject, or maybe the same subject but from different sources. It is okay. You can create your own understanding more than I gave you today. So please stay studying again. Increase your English competence. Increase your understanding of English, and at last you are going to be able to speak in a very good and fluent English, and be able also to write in a very good order of English. Thank you for watching me today. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your presence on Nelita Online Learning. I hope you are going to study, and we're going to see you next week in another subject. We are going to study about giving and responding to the offering for next meeting. Thank you again. Thank you. See you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and goodbye.